There we go.
You gonna sit there or you coming over here? All right, let me just try to slide back a little bit. Okay, there we go. Boom. Now I'm really in the sun, but it's okay. I pictured what perfect looked like. The delightful aromas of dandelions filling the night breeze, lifting my voice so I could breathe again. I heard a melody play, heard vibrations dance to God's heartbeat. It sort of gave a hum, blessings that matched God whispers. It frightened me at first. Then it kissed me as it tumbled through my padding. I hugged it. It hugged me like thick thighs and spandex. It felt like passion and mystery, seemed like dreams and disappointment, sundresses and black women. It kind of felt like summertime, like hopscotch and dominoes. It reminded me of red light, green light, and Coco Levia. It was like holding hands while you walked home from school, or beatboxing in the back staircase while you were in high school. I remember those murder burgers and suicide french fries, we called them, the Thomas Jefferson High. I remember Miller Park, Bradford Street, East New York, Brooklyn, A-train rides at 3 a.m. I remember those small vanilla envelopes that we loved to share. I remember the tomboys that had the fattest bumpers, the chicks who loved us so much that they decided to be happy and no longer carry misery. The cats with the wicked dribble on the basketball courts, my cousins who dunked on everybody. I remember the basement parties. My very first DJ set, the cool age smiles I had the first time I got to dance with the lady that I liked. See, perfect didn't always make sense. It didn't always make your head bop back and forth. It wasn't always hip-hop music, but perfect always felt good. And every day, if you lived on my block, you understood what perfect felt like. And of the face, captured in this frozen glass, still telling tall tales just to stay alive yet again. And of the mornings, when dreary and still went without answers, and they did not leave a message for me, still they did not call for help. And of the night calls, when darkness had arisen in the spirit, after it begged my reckoning and after it beat me down again to submission, still they haven't called. And of this moment, riding this still horse, not quite like home, but still I travel, wanting some of the answers I've asked for, but I know better now. I know better than last time when I opened up to you, begging for understanding, even knowing forgiveness was far less of a desire for you. And still you spat at me with so much damage. Yet another day, a ghost town in my heart, a calamity in my spirit, and of that glow, when it rendered immobility and weakens logic to lower level standings, who's next is on the emotion train, and of the goodbyes, and the last ones, where disappointment lays like a French kiss on disappearing lips, when I finally realized what this mirror was telling me. And no, I didn't cry then, because in this moment you should be helping me catch these falling tears. And now, when I say it last, the last goodbye, perhaps then, just maybe then, I will be another one soon forgotten. And of the morning, when good mornings leave us silent. You almost ready? Read one more. Read one more? That's a long one. Like, I'm breaking that one up. That's like 5 different. Oh, let me read it. Let me see if I can find a real dope one then. Maybe I can really be somebody today. Let me see.
I got 2 short ones.
You got 2 short ones? Okay, cool. So I'm going to read this one. I'm going to give y'all, since y'all here, I'm going to tell y'all the prompt that they gave me after I do the poem, okay? But y'all got it, yeah. They gave me a writing prompt to do this poem, and I did it, and I wasn't sweating that day when I wrote it, but I'm sweating today. But I'm going to tell y'all the prompt afterwards, and y'all let me know what y'all think, okay? In 1912, this particular building was constructed in New York City. There were other names attributed to this fixture, but the treachery of white supremacy made her latest name world known. The seats were filled, shoulders rest like bowling pins in perfect order. It was the key of B playing in the perfect 82 beat per minute tempo. The lyrics were, "You were there for me. No one else could come between this love. I know I'll never let you go." Sing. The glorious brown of her skin begins to glow. Center stage anticipates her movements, hands grace between air and the sound of piano chords. She spins to melodies that remind us of the elements. The spotlight calls her, casts her shadow with God's approval. You can see her eyes close. Arms gracefully butterfly themselves before the masses. No one's breathing on their own. Every limb plays to the language of love. His voice captures her movements. "You were there for me," he says. Her eyelids split. Tears puddled the spot where bullet casings once married the ground. Where police tape ordered a crime scene. Her tears rippled to the sound of someone yelling, "They killed Malcolm!" Her foot soles left the ground. Arms found freedom while matching the thick of the atmosphere. Her energy went from confusion to pain as assassination found itself at the point of her toes. Every lift, every spin, every pirouette settled to the cadence of her routine. Donnie's voice mirrored those keys. It seemed like Malcolm's spirit had never left this room, carrying the baritone between those 82 beats per minute, 6 paces before the next pirouette, then bounce. Her son's voice found the poem. Her daughters found their steps between her shoes. Sister Betty was there. Attila remembered those gunshots. They called it Harlem Blues, but we called it America. Called it injustice. Gave it the name America always taught us to call it, but it was her legs standing strong. Held the weight of this world between her whirling fingers. You see, Naomi began to dance and worship. She would say, Allah remembered this sequence, made the sky cry in remembrance, made it seem like Naomi did a rain dance. And she blessed what most could not stomach. Told her truth because the lie had already run its course. A song for you puddled from her eyes. The little ghetto boys were for all we knew. Giving up was not an option. Pattern widow's love. Where is the love within the moments? And I got lost in her movements. Remember the embryonic fluid against my canvas. I closed my eyes again. Listen to the wind find its way against her face, along her fingertips, under the padding cushion between her feet and the graveyard of this crime scene. 82 beats per minute. 10 toes lifting her tiny frame in relation to this music, finding the last bounce, the last balance from the last riff, shots echoing against the 53-year-old walls that told us who the culprits were. It was a night to remember. This Christmas played and it seemed like forever. Like someone told the story, gave it principle, made the spotlight glow against her spirit. Have you ever seen an angel dance? Tread through wind gusts that gave innocence movements. Planet celestial in bended knees, sanctified the elegance in symmetrical movements. In graceful fingers, it was a God-given talent. And I was fortunate enough to watch it through the lens of a son. And I heard it through the rhythm of Malcolm's last breath. So the writing prompt was, so my mother danced for Alvin Ailey. So the writing prompt was to write a poem about my mom dancing in Audubon Ballroom to Donny Hathaway playing. And Donny Hathaway is one of my favorites. So Why she so strong? See what I'm saying? Coming up next. Somebody. Alan, you ready? Okay. I didn't want you to leave. I ran you off.
Without any further ado.
He's got a shirt on that says vote for Pedro. So y'all better vote for Pedro because Alan said so. Coming to the stage, y'all. We're going to clap him on the way up. We're going to give it up for the one and only Alan in the building.
I know him.
I've known him for quite some time, and he used to drive motorcycles. See, I'm going to forget.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
I'm so glad to be here. Glad for this opportunity to speak. Now the time has come to meet and play a drum. With words of praise we'll say, we'll make a better day. Poetry, prose, and words that rhyme lead us all to a better time.
I love the rhyme scheme.
Next one. Okay. Spoken words and works of art. This is where we all will start. Painting pictures with our voice or with acrylics. That's our choice. Either way, at the end of the day, we'll have wonderful things to display.
Alan, that's awesome. That was great. Yay. That's awesome. Alan, thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You just wrote that one, did you? Yeah. Oh, man. I don't got that kind of talent. I haven't graduated to that kind of talent yet. I hope one day I could write poems fast like that. That makes sense.
Dream big.
I'm dreaming big. Right. Shane, you painted that quick. Look at the green on there.
It is beautiful.
That's dope. That's why I don't paint around her. I'll be like, man, I'm not painting around her.
Yeah, whatever.
Coming up next. Y'all, welcome to the stage, the one and only Riot.
It's just colors, you mix them.
Mine don't mix like that. That's the problem.
Alright. What am I gonna do? Okay. Done had my head drugged down, done messed up and cut up my soles with overloads, my own hands shaky, my eyes all swole. But I looked in the mirror today and was blown away and surprised by the life inside my eyes. So on this wind I shall ride. There's a reason why. A resurrection is paired with a phoenix, cause you can feel the fire breathing all up inside your veins, and all you can do is spit flames. You can feel the steam whistling, popping all the restraints. There ain't no passion like glory. There ain't no story like our story. There ain't no love like ours. There ain't no better time than now to become a sun and burn the black blotch of space, to explode light from our hearts like a million stars couldn't be contained. So let it rain down rabid dogs and hissing cats. I got a soul full of words and a pen like a bat. Let it thunder so loud that it shakes the ground. And I will shout out louder that this ground already fell down. And baby, I've just been running on the air. Tsunami waves can take its place with a roar like a lion. And I will shout out louder right in the face of the Titan. I'm gonna show you how we walk on water like we're God's daughter, because that's how strong we are, and that's the love we have to offer. So let the cold come closer, and we'll just set the phoenix free, set fire to the world, and be warmed by the passion inside of we.
Let's go.
Let's see. The Pentecostal prophets say my prophets ain't big enough to pickpocket. And the apostolic apostles say I gotta give 15% of my income making me feed myself or my faith, so I guess I'm damned either way. I didn't know that fasting would be a requirement of the church. I didn't know that Lent would be a weekly offering. I guess I got tired of seeing old Mary, who's been through those church doors every Sunday, come out down at the welfare office on Monday, trying to get canned peas to cook in a crock pot of hope. I think your revolving doors of mercy are broke. I saw her last week on the corner of Belief Boulevard and Grace Avenue, window shopping for a reason to give thanks. And a pastor pulled up in his BMW, his smile matching the new paint, waved before driving off to his 7-bedroom mansion with its golden gate. And Mary, she just smiled like a stretched pew with her hands folded into a collapsed prayer. Watched her tithes drive off with her investment of security. I guess I got tired of paying for your property, so nah, I ain't going to church on Sunday. I ain't rich enough to go to your business meeting. You're treating your community like a stock market, but you ain't passing out no dividends. When you close your doors in below freezing temperatures to 2001 of your city's homeless, while you raking it in for your house in the hills. And it is written, be humble before the Lord. Honey, ain't nothing humble about your home when it's got a heated swimming pool and a 5-car garage. When the shepherd's riding around his golf cart, trading all that wool for coin, while God's children are left out in the cold. Nah, I ain't going to church on Sunday, but I will be praying for all our souls. See, I built my worship in the woods, and I don't have to offer any ante except for a confession and a line of communication. I don't need to window shop for a reason to give thanks, and I damn sure ain't got to give anything to be forgiven except before to ask. I was originally gonna flash mob that at Joel Osteen's church, and then I realized he had all those bodyguards, and I was like, let me not. let's not get shot today.
She's taking my money.
All right, one more. Okay. I got a poem burn a hole in the back of my pocket. I got a poem burn a hole in the back of my pocket. I got a hole in my heart where I ripped out a part of it just to write it. I've been searching for you for 37 years. 37 years to give this to you. 37 years of practice and experience, and I think now I can finally present this. I went through hell to bring it here. Spent time as a love-held slave. Spent time digging my own grave, just in the attempt to lay down and feel what it was like to rest. But there was no way. I couldn't even fake it. I had to gather up the strength, find you, and hand it over to who the true owner is. See, these words came from me, but they are not mine. It was always meant for you, all this gained in the grains of time. It was glyphed into my fingerprints, my body its residence, my spirit the key. I kept it tucked in the knots of my leases so no one else could see, for I am your poem. And right here, right now, I will bow down, untie my shoes, and hand it to you. Run these prints across your ears, inhaling my 37 years of faith. Open up my rib cage like angel wings, because we are all higher beings. And this poem I want you to keep tucked inside your laces. So when you go to walk Witz, you walk with destination. I want you to tattoo it in your fingerprints so you never forget what kind of poem this is. And read it every single day by smiling at your reflection, memorizing everything, even the perfect detailed imperfection. So when you get whipped in some cage you wound up in as a love-held slave, you can remember this and state, I know who I am. And when you go to dig a grave in the attempt to give up, you won't be able to close your eyes, and you will have no choice but to stand up and say, no, this isn't over. Because I'm poetry in motion, and I got to get up and get going, because I got a poem burn a hole in the back of my pocket. I got a poem burn a hole in the back of my pocket. Love y'all.
Burn that.
Yeah, burn that pocket.
You need time for your phone to charge? We'll just bring. You ready? I think I just burned a hole. You just burned a hole in my pocket. In the back. In my pocket. There's an echo. And I don't know if it's actually in the speaker or it's just echoing from there. But it sounds really good. I like that. I feel like I'm special. Like I really got really good stuff out here. And if nobody else don't like it, too bad. Anyway, come to the stage. I'll give it up for my brother, half of Granny's boys in the building, the one and only Mr. Witz.
What's up, family? Okay. Well, we gonna rock with it. It's good to see y'all out here. Thank y'all for having me. And let's jump into this word. Somewhere beyond the sea, my grandfather's favorite song, sings to me in his tone, though I've never heard his voice. Rhythms in my vocal cords, his harmony, though we have never harmonized. It feels like we danced, while I've never stood in front of him. He guides me, yet I never held his hand. But I have felt his presence. They tell me I favor him the most. So I look for him there in the reflections of myself, hiding behind my eyes, nose, smile, height, and size. All I would give for him to peek at me, no matter where I appear. I never seem to find him. He doesn't seem to want to be anywhere I look. Only in his pictures do I ever really see him, smiling out from his eyes with his legs folded. But this song, like his voice, chimes like clock time, sings to me like I've heard it from his lap, takes me on water, shipped in his shoes. I travel to battle against the next crashing wave. The next phase of life I wake up in, still searching for his grin in my reflection, still looking for his spirit inside my vessel. Maybe one day the story of his impact will crash land somewhere, surfaced in me. Well, you know how I do. It's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster. But I'm going to hit y'all with a couple of quick short ones, I think. Okay, X out the short ones. Oh, come on, stop acting up. All right, let me tell y'all a story. Ironic how you can die in a car crash after finding out you're about to be fired. Let go from your job for covering up how you killed a black man who fled from your capture and died in an automobile accident. The irony of such a statement, to find its truth in the choreography of what would be your end. The steer of the wheel, the foot on the gas pedal, tongue of one with such premise in their drive. I don't think I'm cut. I just got his blood all over me. That's what the rediscovered body camera recording caught a state trooper say while stomping his foot down on the bare bottom of an already surrendered, beaten, tased, hog-tied, dragged on his face black man they claimed they pulled out of a vehicle. Said he died in a car wreck, a single car accident. Don't think I'm cut. I just got his blood all over me. Guess he ran himself into a guardrail that night when he ran into 7 Louisiana state troopers who weren't about to lose a street race, police chase, a chance to recapture them a runaway slave. Not much difference in the way it turns out these days. Either way, you could get thrown from your vehicle, skid across the pavement, rendered lifeless in a blink of an eye. They can be in collision. I mean, you can get your black ass pulled over, blue lights flashing behind you while you're black driving. It's like your life flashing before your very own eyes. It was clear, the recording. They drug him out his vehicle. His raised hands, too dark-skinned for them to recognize, too black at night to match up with any white flag, too pale, too palm open to tee them. I'm scared. I got scared. The holes in their hoods, too white sheet to see through. The ink blot inscripting him 3/5 a man. I'm sorry, I got scared. I'm scared, I got sorry. Back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up, back up. 7 state Louisiana's state troopers on him. I don't think I'm cut. I just got his blood all over me. You pulled him over, so you got in your car. You threw him to the floor, so you stepped on the gas. You hit him with the stun gun, beat him while in handcuffs. You crashed into something traveling at high speed. You dragged him by his feet on his face and then left him face down in the dirt, your body barely breathing. His life slowly left him. To elude your punishment, you met judgment in your stare of the wheel. Sounds like a wreck, a single car accident, a suicide attempt to elude all blame. Or did the blue lights in the view from behind you make your life flash before your eyes just the same? Ironic how you can die in the car crash after covering up how you aided in beating to death another black man and blamed his homicide on an automobile accident. More specifically, a single car collision. It's kind of whatever pop up right now.
That's what I would do.
So let me change the energy because I don't want to be out here in tears. So let's do something a little different. It's not one thing I love about you. It's many things. It's everything. But if it's one thing I want to trip over, it's loving you. If love is a fall, don't ever let autumn leave my side again. Don't ever free me from the chills you give. I won't quit showing you how it can keep you warm. The way the morning sun kisses skin. I got the hots for you. Some would be jealous if she knew, if she ever found out our chemistry's the reason the climate has changed. The leaves have turned up, the rivers run still. It's you. It's what you've done to me. Your rhythm, our harmony, our escape lonely we frequent in the sky. Your flight is more than a jacket you wear. When you fly, others want to fly. And I don't want to ever look over a shoulder and catch you blind as if I'm hard to find. So just ride the wind with me on a purple carpet in the clouds of how you blow my mind. I see galaxies within your eyes, cosmos in your blinks. I can't keep time, hell I don't even try. When you smile at me, like rings of stars has exploded, like tomorrow, today, wrapped in better yesterday. You are what dreams are made of. While minds wander the universe, my answer to what happens when two worlds collide. Fall with me. You are the ride, the roller coaster of living that makes man want more than planetary planes. You are Jasmine, my flower. And I want to fly. I just want to fly. I just want to ride purple carpets with you. So I don't want to be up here crying and shit. So I'm doing different energy right now. Look, y'all think y'all be messed up when y'all hear these pieces. I'll be messed up. I have to transfer from one emotion to the next. But, you know, it's definitely a lot. And it's appreciated that y'all can feel my energy and ride with me. So
Feel or not to feel?
I'm going to do another deep one. So fasten your seatbelts. At what age do we warn black boys of blue steel? That bullets have no names or wings when they fly? that triggers go off in the hands, no matter if you're aiming or posing. Don't tell your life story within a photo shoot. Ever since I was young, I can remember seeing pictures of the young in other countries and their assault rifles, firearms taller than the height of the juvenile bodies that attempted to carry them. To some, they were no more than shots of young soldiers fighting a war for liberties and freedom in their country. To others, their visions of what is considered to be rebel and even gangster. It's not like they're not making gun toys for our boys, grenades and knives for them to prepare, to pretend. These the gifts young boys get on holidays, Christmas, birthdays, and summertime fun to cool off. Indoctrinating youth to grip and squeeze off, and they wonder why our black boys photo shoot their guns. After all that pretending, so glad to have one. If you teach a young boy the alphabet, you know one day he'd write words and shoot you conversation. Same goes for new grip in the squeeze of an arm, life in the hands of untrained fingertips. Only a matter of time till momentum shifts to play with the gun Dad has in his room. In an unexplored room nor window in our homes, in an unlocked cabinet considered a safe space. You never think intrusion till your space invaded. Maybe you could have hid it in a better place. Maybe you should have never left it to begin with, none of which can difference you from the now. You can see lifelessness within his dead stare. He said, we were just messing around. Wanting to take a few pictures, a couple poses, and he'd put it right back, right where he found it. It happened so quickly, so swift his check to see we didn't think it through. His looking down the nozzle, never saw the barrel click, the trigger lean back. We never thought in a million years the gun would go off. I never thought our being curious would bring an end to his life. If I can go back, in spite of my first reaction, I will answer differently to the call down the hall. I will walk him back out of our parents' closet. I will backtrack the bullet out of his skull. I just want to laugh with my brother again. He said it was an accident. 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 4 years ago. He hasn't spoken much since. When the youth leave this world, who mourns with their family? Who helps to glue the cracks that broke in their lives? Who mathematically equation black boy way less than Trey Pound in 4 or 5? I always wonder why the young ready to die so soon, why bullets are so masculine to growing young male. Parenting is the driver's seat. Please beware the stare when passing the wheel. Once you steal their innocence, you can't give it back. At what age do we warn black boys a blue steel? That bullets have no names or wings when they fly. That triggers go off in the hands, no matter if you're aiming or posing. Don't turn into a photo shoot. I guess I'll do one more. Shoot. It had to go somewhere. It was sitting in there. Got to get it out. So I'll do this one. If I could use the colors in my crayon box to rewrite the relationship between man and the earth, I would color the world pretty. The color of flowers. Those bright red, yellow, purple, blue blossoms. Lavender and teal blooms stem from the green that make everywhere they grow look beautiful. I color beach and urban backyards so every child in the neighborhood could take in a day to play in the sand. I color sky and black bedroom ceilings so black dreams can reach beyond the roofs of their imagination. If I could, I would color food for starving Africans, homes around the homeless, well for the sick. I would color way war out from every spoken language. I'd white out whitewashing of black magnificence. If I could use the colors in my crayon box to rewrite the relationship between man and the earth, I would color nigger inequality, a shade fit for man, a tone soft enough to say it wasn't loud. You know how dangerous it is for dark-skinned voices to be heard while still living. Talking while black, too loud, too proud. All white folk here smoke signals, black mouths, too live, too breathing, too accustomed to their fire, always ready to smoke unarmed brown-skinned people. If I could, I would color black bodies dangle from trees. I color slaves out of Middle Eastern seas. I would color clear the mindset of a man who would think if you boil a man alive, you can thicken his skin. I color pretty like inside the lines. I will color bullets out of unarmed black lives. I will magic mark these words so you can read them in botany. I will color foundation instead of hypocrisy. If I could Michelangelo this world in crayon, I'd paint humanity's knees onto the floor. I'd crayon its face and palms to the sky so a world of people could remember how to pray. I'd sketch my mom's chocolate face in the Mona Lisa's frame. I'd crayon Pop's face inside of Jesus' mane. I'd color Ali physically back coaching in the rain. I would color the life back in the Malcolm X being. I could color it. It would look like scribble. From far, it would look like a swirling black hole, a mixture of ingredients, a bowl of cake batter blending without a spoon. A kaleidoscope of color poured into itself, a spectrum of reflection whenever light hits it, and the world will know then what it is for our differences to live in coexistence. If I could use the colors in my crayon box to rewrite the relationship between man and the earth, I color the world pretty.
Y'all give it up for Mr. Witz. I'm supposed to do something after that? Anyway, he made me proud to say that's my brother. I keep saying if I had an older brother, I wanted to be him. But unfortunately, I'm his oldest brother, so it don't work like that. I don't know what time we're leaving, but I guess I'll do another one. My mother said when I was born, she saw me whole. She saw facial hair that hadn't found my skin. She said her baby boy would one day be a great man. He would do some great things with his life. That's what my mother said about me. I've often wondered if Alberta Williams King knew the same of her son. If she knew he would shine with that word doctor before his name, the name she casted from her lips when she fixed his meals and tucked him into bed. I wonder when he was a young boy, did she see his name in lights plastered on billboards with guns aimed at his mastery? Did she know they would pincushion her son with rifles? I wonder if his father, Martin Luther King Sr., saw his boy's name branded in red, white, and blue blood stains. If they knew their son had God's echo in his voice and white supremacy wanting his backside, did they know that their son's bravery would leave him breathless, choked out, betrayed by his best friends and pastors who once called him brother. Did they know that he was David, fighting the modern day Goliath, that he was Daniel, swallowed by the darkest den in this America? I wonder if they can still hear him, still begging Pharaoh to let my people go. Maybe his voice still lives amongst the clouds, trapped between heaven's doorbell and American satellites. Wonder if his speeches mean more in heaven than they ever did here in America. I wonder if he now commands angels to walk to a tone that human beings could not dance to. I wonder what God has to say. And if he cries because America made Dr. King an ornament, made him a martyr but not a free man, turned his life into a memorial, never found the key to unlock that God span within his speeches, I wonder how God feels, knowing they fit him in a moment of silence, when he is a true heartbeat of a djembe drum line. They plan to cancel his metronomes. Can you hear it bigger today? Bigger than I have a dream, louder than I've been to the mountaintop, more starlight than knocking at midnight. They can't write sermon like those, not in that voice, not with that rumble, not without God's approval that they say worth a death sentence. I wonder if they march in heaven. Is there Selma on the other side that we haven't seen yet? Is that Montgomery has an empty gas station? I know those shoes are worn. Backs must be tired. The sun would spend the day turning their backsides into a California king. He would be 92 today, shiny and bronze in the way that his Lord saw fit. 92, lending his voice to the ancestors we forgot to listen to. 92 and untroubled like southern live oak trees, soaring like the brown thrasher, all relevant to the state of Georgia. Our king would be 92 today, still unconquered, still unafraid, and still fighting for everything humanity has yet to learn. Are we done, or you coming back up? We done? Listen, man, we thank everybody for being here in person, doing drive-bys, everybody who's actually on social media watching us. It's a pleasure and honor to be here. See y'all next time. Same place, same channel.
Fourth Friday.
Every fourth Friday, right here, throwing down. I'll see y'all soon. Peace and love.